Hey YouTube. Well, it's back. Queen Sugar. What is this episode? I'm in season 4, episode 1. Alright, so this thing opens up when Nova is shooting a commercial to promote her new novel, Blessings in Blood. Now, from what I remember from last time it was on, Nova had started writing something else, right? She had started writing articles for the New York Times. First locally, then the New York Times picked it up. And then I think the publishers were saying that the book didn't go deep enough, something. So she scrapped that whole project, I believe. I don't know if that one was fiction or what, but we talked about her exposing the family somewhat in the last season, right? Well, now she's been working on this memoir of hers. And this goes deeper, a lot deeper, actually. All right, so she's shooting this commercial. Next thing, we switched to Charley. Charley started seeing his doctor last year. Now they are becoming more involved. They're getting the massage together by masseuse. Looks like some kind of day spa or something, but it's obviously unisex because they're both there. Then when the person masseuse leaves, he begins to massage her. Right? So those two have gotten closer, shall we say. Then we move to Vi in Hollywood. So they're just giving us a little snippet at first, showing where people are right now. Micah, the teenage kid, he's visiting his father. He's not in town. But other than him, everyone's there. Talk about Vi in Hollywood, who have just come back from their honeymoon in Thailand and now are preparing to open their restaurant. Actually, it's Vi's restaurant. Hollywood has financed and given her the building. Right? Is Vi's Pies... Wait a minute. Vi's Pies... Is something Vi's Pies and Skies or something? And diner. So he bought the old Yeller where she used to work, and now they're turning it into Vi's Pies and also a diner, right? Okay, then they give us a snippet of what's going on with Ralph Angel. Now Ralph Angel, has been on parole for the last couple of years. He gets a letter from the state stating he is no longer on parole. He's a free man. Ooh, I can relate to that. Ooh, I can relate to that feeling. Yes, so he's very happy. He goes running off and screaming in the bushes or whatever. He's finally off parole. Okay. Next thing we see is this like a New Orleans style parade. With the band, a marching band. People dancing. Be quiet. People dancing, and they're marching to the grand opening of Vi's Pies. Come here. Stay there. Say good morning. Good morning. Okay. They're marching to the grand opening, right? So this is a big restaurant now. A lot fancier than the High Yellow was. High Yellow was just a local diner. This place seems to be more of a restaurant. All right. At the party, Ralph runs into his old friend, who's a police officer, who I believe is actually transsexual or just gay. He's there with another guy. Him and Ralph were being good friends since their childhood, right? He's helped Ralph out. Ralph's helped him out like that. So they're old friends. Ralph tells him about him getting off parole finally. And the guy is there with this other guy. And he wants to talk to him about a reentry program. Now, Ralph is very obviously resistant to this idea. Now, we don't know if he'll buckle or not. I mean, why introduce it if he's not going to buckle to it? But he wants a clean break from prison, and I understand it completely. after I got clean, got out of prison, many of the guys went into work in recovery programs and so forth. That was not my thing. I needed a clean break from everything connected with their life. So this is kind of where Ralph is. I get the impression. But the friend is saying that, it would really be a big help if these guys had some way, if these guys can be guaranteed a job when they get out of prison. That's reentry, right? Next thing we see is, okay, so Darla shows up. Vi still holds a grudge. Miss Vi has got some character defects. Some of her racial views, although they seem to be ironed out in the last season, but her views about Darla are really outrageous because if she pushes too hard, she won't accept Darla now, and she feels like Darla's the enemy because of the relationship with Ralph Angel, which is none of her business. But Darla gives her a present. She says, "Oh, yeah, you can fix yourself a plate as you're leaving." If Darla decides to take this boy and leave, she can do that. I don't know what Vi's thinking is. Why she feels like she didn't have to be cordial or nice to this woman. Yes, her issue is that Blue, she got pregnant while she was on drugs by another man, and Ralph is not the kid's actual father, right? But at the same time, she thinks like she's going to surrender her child to the care of Ralph Angel, who is not even the biological father. That's ridiculous. If she pushes her too hard, she's going to push that kid right out of their lives, and that would destroy Ralph Angel. But that's where she's at. Get yourself a plate to go. He comes over and kind of checks her a little bit after that, but they don't get into no big beef there at the party. Hollywood is the first to overhear someone talking about Charley's book. Excuse me, not Charley's book. Nova's book. He overhears a couple people talking about it, right? People said they saw a billboard or certainly a big poster or something in New York City promoting the new release of his book. He meets Nova in the back of the restaurant. Ask her, why don't we know nothing about this book? You about to release a book and we know nothing about it? He says something ain't right about that book. They ain't read it or anything, but he knows for her to keep it to herself that she's about to release this thing, and nobody in the family's read it or heard about it or even talked about it, then there's got to be something wrong, right? This is the first. He's the first to confront her about this thing, even though she has not read it. All right. This episode is primarily about this book. I mean, we acquainting everyone with the story and so forth, and letting us know where people are. But this is really about this book of Nova's. Okay, so Nova's in there. She's stressed out because she knows she's done wrong. Nova knows that something is not right about this book. People are not going to receive this well. Now, my thought was, I knew she was writing a memoir, but I assumed that she was going to write a memoir about the family because they confronted her when she wrote these small stories for the magazine that appeared in the magazine in the New York Times. So we were already aware that she was going to write about the family. But I assumed that she was going to write about the history of the family, primarily people who are dead. The father, relationship, the father, the mother, and their childhood. This is what I assumed. I said, well, that's what a memoir is. You got to just deal with it. But no, that's not what she's writing. That's not what she's writing. The plot thickens. Okay. So she's having dreams about their childhood, and in her dream, their children playing in the yard, the three of them, Charley, Nova, and Ralph Angel. And then in the dream, they become adults, and they're all dressed in white. I said, oh my God, is this awake? Okay, so she knows now that she's got to get them copies of this book before it comes out. She's not going to be able to just release this book and they can read it like everyone else at the same time as everyone else. So she starts delivering these manuscripts. She first takes one to Charley. Charley said, okay, I'll get around to it, kind of thing. They're kind of casual about it. Then she drops one off at Vi's restaurant. leaves it on the desk. Hollywood finds that. Then she goes to give a copy to Ralph Angel. And he leaves it on his desk, right? But, let's see. Okay, we'll get back to that in a second here. Okay, so Ralph meets a girl, single mother, in some kind of kid event. She's got a little tomboy girl, and her and Blue are playing, or she takes Blue's ball. Ralph throws it to his son. She intercepts the ball, and then she said, "You want to fight me about it?" But the parents meet, so I guess this is going to be another girlfriend for Ralph Angel, right? Next thing we see is Ralph Angel explains to Blue, his son, about being off parole and what that means now. Blue barely understands, but he knows it's a good thing that his father don't have to answer to anybody anymore. And then it starts getting, this is where it all goes south. The whole program goes south, right? Okay, Charley is up. She's accepting his reward from some woman's organization, right? Because she's got her own meal. She's got, it's like a businesswoman. They're honoring her. They're giving her an award. As she's accepting this award, a reporter from it's a local paper stands up and questions her about, because Charley says that she's for women have to stick together. This woman asks her, "Are you for?" She stands up rudely while Charley's still talking and says, "Are you for all women?" Charley said, "Of course I'm for all women. What the hell you think? What the hell am I, a unicorn?" And then this woman starts talking about Nova's book. And she starts quoting from the book. And she's not digging into Charley's life as a child or the parents' life or anything like that. She's speaking about her current life. And she's telling all the business Nova is in this book about about Charley paying off women to keep quiet about this gang rape that her husband participated in. Remember the sex scandal with what's his name? Davis. Remember the sex scandal with Davis? This girl had inside information, Nova does, about her sister paying these women millions of dollars, although I would take the millions gladly myself. But anyway, the point is that her participating in this rape culture, we're just silencing women about sexual abuse. She knows things that only her sister would know. Right? So Charley is humiliated, of course, because all these women are sitting around, look, they're pulling out their phone to snapshot, and most of them have got their hands I guess that's the same as clutching your pearls when you clutch your mouth. Anyway, so now it's out. This woman has got an advanced copy of Nova's book. She has read it, and she is quoting from it that Charley paid them women off after her husband participating in their rape. Okay. Next thing we see, Charley calls Ralph. She said, did Nova leave anything there? Yeah, I got the book. She left the manuscript there, right? She said, under no conditions, I want you to promise me you will not read that manuscript. Do not read it. Do not read it until I get there. I'm on my way. Of course, Ralph's got to know what the hell is she talking about. He goes and he reads it. Now he is in tears because not only is she talking about all of Charley's current business with her family. Remember, this is now, these people have got children. Micah does not know the whole story about what happened with Davis and this whole sex scandal thing. Right? So Charley is red hot. She makes two calls. She makes a call to him saying that she's on her way. She also calls her attorney. And her attorney, she's talking to a machine, but she says, cease and desist. In other words, Charley is going to try to stop the publication of this book. Right? This is where we're going next episode. Okay, so he does read the book, not the manuscript. They all seem to have an immediate reaction. So I'm assuming that means because they've opened the cover and they've seen that, be quiet. They've seen that there's a man outside our window. There's on the scaffolding. There's two of them. What am I talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay, so not only she talked about Charley's situation, but she's be quiet. Hey, he is determined that I don't tell the story. Shut up. Not only that, she's gone all into the story about Blue and accusing her brother of being less than a man, and suggesting that Blue is not even his child. In other words, telling all of their business, everything she knows about her family sister. See, a memoir is when you tell your story. A memoir. I've written memoir. Memoir is about you. You're not supposed to write a memoir to expose other people. If you want to write an expose, then you do that. But if you're calling a book a memoir, it's supposed to be your story. So far, we haven't heard anything about Nova in this book. It's all about her sisters and their lives and Aunt Vi's life. So you know Hollywood is hot, although we didn't see Hollywood's reaction. We just saw his mouth drop open when he opened it. So when they opened the cover, I guess that they probably the chapters are probably named after the people she's discussing their whole lives. They each get their own chapter, shall we say. Okay. So she's gone way, way too far. This is not an historical type thing at all. These are current events. And remember, Charley's husband is a famous man. He's a famous athlete. That's where she's getting all the buzz from, because she's her sister. All right. So Charley's calls to her sister and resists. And I believe that's where we leave it. We leave it with Nova going to her daddy's grave and asking his forgiveness. Now, I guess a dead man, she can imagine anything she wants to imagine, but she's got to deal with these living people now. So this was an excellent opening. It started off kind of slow, just catching people up with what was going on. Everyone was so happy. And then it's got quite a dramatic entry into this season. Okay, so I will be reviewing this book. Talking about books. This series weekly. So I'll see you next week. Later.